Vlogg, number 78,000.2, section 40B. Very much under the weather, cutting corners, saving with heat and electricity here for reason. Found myself with a terrible bout of sciatica from sitting too long and driving. It's an old injury that I've had for many, many years. And it resurfaces from time to time, especially during the cold weather when you're sitting down a lot. Watching the news this morning, I'm so fucking sick and tired of hearing about immigration. They're focusing on the immigrants as if this is some massive problem to be blamed on poor people who are coming here because where they're coming from, it's too fucked up for them to survive. And 99% of all fucking people in this country, unless they're indigenous Native Americans, are fucking immigrants. At one point in time, there's like maybe 1% Native American in Congress and Senate. These are all a bunch of white people complaining about immigrants when they themselves are immigrants. And I understand the whole concept of illegal versus legal immigration, but let's just take a step back and focus on another really big problem that people don't want to put their attention on, that they're diverting away from, and these are the mega billionaires. There's something fundamentally wrong when a single individual has 50, 100, 200 billion dollars. Do you know how much $50 billion would impact illegal immigration on the border? If one of these rich folks took $50 billion and put a plan in place to help these people before they started coming over here, let me tell you something, there wouldn't be this massive influx of immigration. And the problem seems to be that people think, oh, there's just a couple billionaires. I worked for a billionaire who had $58 billion in the bank when I started working for him, and when I finished working for him, he had $85 billion. And this was over a course of about 5 years, and this person thinks that it was his calling to tell people not to drink large amounts of soda and to wear their bicycle helmet, and yet does not pay nearly a fraction as much taxes when you look at the percentages as the middle and lower class does. And these people, they have so much money, it's such an unequal distribution of wealth that there really needs to be some attention focused on who are the ones that are making these people rich? Well, it's largely the immigrants doing the jobs that nobody wants to do, while the other people make these people rich in their corporations. Because their corporations all have to have a food service, a dishwasher, a chauffeur, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And in their corporations, you can't get in the foot in the door unless you have at least a college degree. And education should be free, too expensive. Who can pay for free education? Gee, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk could easily do that. So could Ortega, Carlos Slim, and countless other of people, the Walmarts, the Rothschilds. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. How many people there who have an exorbitant amount of wealth who could fundamentally change things instead of having politicians who are blaming the immigrants, blaming it on immigration. You know, I mean, sure, people need to be screened before they come in here that they're not terrorists, you know, but all these people are coming from places that are ravaged by war and famine, where just even $1 billion would have made a huge difference in their lives. You know? And it's sad because this is supposed to be a democracy and freedom of speech, yet nobody is talking about what I just talked about because they can't understand the concept of $1 billion. $1 billion is 999 million. Most people won't even make $1 million in their whole lifetime. Most people in America especially, and I mean, it's just, it's insane how people, history repeats itself and people want to blame the poor and blame the immigrant on everything. And that's exactly what the Nazis did. So God help this country. God help me. I'm struggling financially and I'm so fucking sick and tired of it. It's like there's just not a lot of love out there in this world. There really isn't. There's a lot of people who are blind. You know, it's my responsibility to try to figure out a way to sell artwork to survive. Not one of these billionaires that bought any of our artwork, you know, goes to show you.